Well, good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here, and I just wanted to thank Plains and HiBite for the opportunity to be here today at the ARC Forum. So I am Matthew Vana, so I'm Streamline Control's Director of Historians and Business Intelligence. So a little bit about myself. So I spent time in the field as a instrumentation journeyman. So I'm a Red and Blue Seal instrumentation journeyman graduate from the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology in Alberta, Canada. And I have over a decade of experience working with the Aviva Pi system. And then also, along with my team, I specialize in the design, the configuration, and the deployment of historian-based OT system architectures. And a few more fun facts. So I am a hockey coach. I'm also our hockey team's DJ and timekeeper. I'm also a sports enthusiast. I love traveling with my family, and I'm also a full-time dad. So Streamline Control, so about our organization. So we were founded in 2011, and we're based in Calgary and Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and serving our clients throughout North America within the United States and as well as Canada. So for some of the platforms that we work with, so we're system integrators for the HiBite Intelligence Hub, bridging industrial data to analytics and AI. And we work with our clients and organizations to design, secure, and model data frameworks, integrating to modern industrial cloud platforms, delivering high-value operational data. And that's modern cloud platforms like Databricks, Snowflake, and Microsoft Fabric, which you'll see an example of with our project with Plains today. We're also industry leaders in MQTT and Sparkplug-B based architectures. Our company was founded and worked with MQTT since its invention. And those are also, we specialize in unified namespace architectures, which are the capabilities of HiBite Intelligence Hub as well. For some of the other platforms that we work with, so we work extensively with the Aviva software portfolio. As I mentioned, the Aviva Pi system, as well as Aviva System Platform. And we've worked with Aviva Enterprise SCADA, again, specializing in MQTT since its inception and when it was Oasis. We also work with Canary Historian. We're certified integrators for them. And we work as premier integrators for inductive automation's Ignition. We have for our other business units, we have an analytics and machine learning business unit, and then we provide our clients flexible support models as well.
Hello, good morning. Juan Yactayo, I'm currently Principal Architect for Systems and Applications for Plains. I started my career as an I&E engineer supporting systems closer to operators, maintenance folks, so that's where my career started. I'm originally from Venezuela, and I moved to the US about 20 years ago. Actually, I'm on my 20-year anniversary here in the US. I moved after that to doing projects in a small town in California, where I spent the next 15 years. And then at some point in my career, moved from process control to IT, and then I started in this IT/OT journey where I had to, like I shared in a few minutes ago, translated things into a language that folks in the field could understand. I normally refer to as a caveman language that allows me to translate things that make sense in this level. When you talk to the folks in the field and operators, it doesn't really make sense. But so I've been doing some of that translation and then some of the roles I did in the past. And I also work with a number of products, Allen Bradley, Modicon, Codices, and seeing how that technology has evolved. It gets me really excited. And enabling innovation and digital solutions has been kind of at the core of my role, supporting industrial solutions and mostly in the operation space is what I've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years. So I go click that green button. Who we are at Plains? Plains is a midstream company. I think we operated primarily now in the U.S. We have around 4,000 employees. It's pretty much pipeline transportation and storage. We have a very large pipeline systems across the United States. We have some facilities that are NGLs in the northern side of the United States and also in Canada, primarily in Canada. Some of those assets are currently scheduled to be divested. I did not put a lot of information related to that just because I felt that that's not going to be a very large focus areas for us in the near term. But yeah, it's primarily pipelines and gathering systems, lag units, and storage systems. So for the most part, it's simpler systems. If you exclude the terminals, we have a very simple operation, which makes it, when you're looking at solutions, we have to keep that in mind. We have to be nimble and simple for our systems and assets. This is you're right, you cannot read the slides. So got 18,000 miles of pipelines across, it runs from south of the United States all the way to Canada. 72 million barrels of commercial crude storage capacity, one of the largest in the United States. Got a lot of ground can capacity, a few marine facilities, mostly in the southern United States. We have 8 rail terminals in rail cars. I got 1,400 and about 800 trucks and 1,300 trailers. All right. And this is probably the meat of this presentation. One of the things that we've been going to be looking at is how we came to select HiBite. One of the things that we found in the company is that we had a lot of point-to-point integrations. We had a disparity number of solutions across the different assets that we own. Most of them were through acquisitions, and the problem, I think there wasn't enough strategy and discipline to standardize to a pattern as we inherit some of those assets. So what we ended up doing is we took the assets with the applications and integration patterns that they had, and then we added to our portfolio. We never truly simplify any of the solutions that we had internally. Some of those included Power BI reporting for regulatory purposes. We have a few applications that were actually consuming data using the Web API methods from Pi, both from CMMS and Geospatial. I'm talking about GIS and Maximo, some of those applications that we use. We also have some measurement tools that we're using, functions, apps in Azure, and all other plant balancing systems use some custom file-based integration. So we pretty much had everything out there that you can imagine in multiple different fashions. And over time, it became very challenging to support and troubleshoot. So when we started looking at the future, we decided to look at the strategy. What are the things that we need to focus on to make sure that we don't end up with a disparity of solutions, so we can minimize the support framework. And then we had 2 main use cases. We have use cases that are enabling applications. You have things like Maximo, GIS, or one application we looked at, Highwire, just for measurement. Those have a specific pattern, and that was one of the use cases that we use HiBite for, is to be able to enable that solution. And then the next use case that we're seeing more and more is we were tasked to enable AI applications in general. We have a number of products out there, and there was a need to have a standard way to send data to multiple AI applications from the marketplace. And this is kind of from a high level point of view how that came to be. There was another initiative a few years ago that Streamline actually helped deploy to centralize all the Pi data. And then organically, that Pi Central application, which I realized I had a typo in there, so it's central. But the Pi Central concept was to consolidate all Pi instances into one location. That way people can consume the data from a centralized place. And we inherently, at that point, we made an unconscious decision to make that our OT broker, which some company has so much history with Pi systems that it's very hard to tell them don't use Pi. I found companies that put in the bucket, you have Pi and you love it, or you don't have Pi and then you're open to other solutions. And I quickly identified planes we have Pi and we love it. So we're going to leverage Pi, and then we started looking at things that they wanted to integrate into the different applications. And HiBi became one of the solutions that allow us to quickly scale some of those use cases. We have some future use cases. We're looking at, one of the things that we were looking at, it was to be able to get data from underlying OT systems without the replication. And HiBi has a function on the architecture level that allows you to deploy other instances of a HiBi and relay that information without replication. And for IT folks, no replications means less maintenance. It means easier to support. So those are probably the two things that. And then I have Matthew probably talk about the specific things that we did for those use cases. Go ahead.
Thanks, Juan. So for our project, we started with a proof of concept, and it was very important for us to have a solid data framework to begin the project. So that started with detailed design of the asset framework in collaboration with the planes measurement team. So the Pi asset framework consisted of a hierarchy for EFM meters for various pipelines throughout Plains organization. The hierarchy was structured based on measurement and regulatory requirements, and then ultimately this was the standardized contextualized data hierarchy foundation for the project. So we began initially using the HiBi Intelligence Hub and developing our initial data pipeline to test with an initial meter. And then through the process, and we had our, as well, the detailed design documentation for our structure of our payloads for HiBi that are ultimately being sent to Microsoft Fabric for integration. So from that initial proof of concept, we were then able to quickly scale and configure the data pipeline for approximately 1,400 EFM meters, and each of those meters containing metadata as well as part of that integration. So ultimately, we're talking about thousands of data points, Pi event frames, Pi analysis and calculations for measurement and regulatory compliance that we were able to integrate for the project. And I do want to highlight when I'm saying quickly for the configuration for scaling of the project, because we actually, when I say quickly, I'm talking a number of days. So it's not a large timeline. We actually were able to be well ahead of our project timeline, which was a great success to this proof of concept and this project as well. And that's a testament to support from HiBi as well as the intuitive configuration that the HiBi Intelligence Hub allows as well. So as we went through the process, the scalability between Pi Asset Framework, HiBi as a middleware solution to Microsoft Fabric, it was designed and built with scalability in mind. And for scalability specifically, where we developed a process where having EFM meters being dynamically, automatically created with an asset framework, it then is able to, with HiByte, automatically add those additional meters to the data pipeline. Therefore, it's a streamlined, automated process for scalability. Also, the HiByte Intelligence Hub is a very powerful, accurate tool. So during the initial testing, the UAT for our proof of concept, some of the meters were sending a lot of data to Microsoft Fabric. So we updated our configuration and considerations so that we didn't have duplicate data being sent, and we had items such as we have implemented like a SQL-lite table with HiByte that does a QC check before data is sent to Microsoft Fabric. This ensures that duplicate records are not sent as well. And for the EFM meter data, so we're consisting of two main data types, those being batches, so quantity transaction records, receipt records for the meters when they are opening and close the volumes for a given period. And sometimes batches can there can be multiple batches for a meter in a given day. So we're capturing that as part of the solution as well. And then the other data context is dailies, so a daily volume throughput that goes through the EFM meter as well. And to speak on, so with HiByte Intelligence Hub, at Plains, we're growing, as Juan said too, more and more use cases with HiByte as well. So another use case that we have recently worked on is leveraging Pi data as well with HiByte for an AI platform in the cloud as well. So in this case, we're using Pi tag data and averages from the Pi data archive, and the HiByte Intelligence Hub is leveraging the AF SDK as the backend data query for the data. So some of the future enhancements that we're planning for the solution as well. So we're looking at high availability, data monitoring improvements as well. We're actually looking at aggregating and combining more data sources to HiByte, or centralizing of the data solution, and that is meaning more data sources than Pi. And then we're also looking at part of that solution, consolidating those point-to-point integrations as well.